The first truth: the gate you seek was never meant to be opened by force. It finds you when your resonance matches its hidden pulse. Imagine a desert midnight, the sky black as obsidian, no wind, no sound, nothing but the heavy scent of sand and forgotten time. In that silence, legends say, the ancient gates of Egypt would sometimes hum a pulse not heard by ears, but felt in the hollow of your bones. This is not a story for the curious or the bored. It's a calling, a resonance only for those who have lived 1,000 quiet disappointments, who have touched wonder and then lost it, who secretly ache for the one thing that can never be bought, only awakened. You believe you are searching for a door. You believe that by sheer will, ritual, or discipline, you can smash through to the other side. But the greatest paradox of the mysteries, the gate opens you. The gate, the threshold between ordinary vision and true sight, between echo and song, has waited for you since before your first breath. You did not come to it. It called you. Do you feel it now? That subtle pressure at the center of your chest, that tension behind your brow, as if 1,000 forgotten words are pressing against your skull, begging to be spoken. This is the gate's frequency, what the priests called Ren Sekem, the vibration that finds those who are ready, whether they know it or not. Some nights, even modern science glimpses this edge. The moment when brainwaves slip from beta into theta, the liminal zone, where reality thins and new perceptions slip through. Scientists speak in sterile terms: hypnagogia, altered states, pattern recognition. But the mystics and magicians knew better. In that in-between, the gate stirs. If you are watching this, it is no accident. The resonance has already found you, tugged at your spine, whispered in dreams you can't remember. You have not come to this moment by chance. Are you willing to let go of seeking, to risk dissolving everything you thought was real? Are you ready for the gate to open you not as a conqueror, but as a chosen? Tonight, the gate recognizes your frequency. This is your sign. Before we proceed, there are risks. Opening too quickly can fracture the mind. Ignoring the call leads to restless longing, a subtle dis-ease that will haunt your days. To begin, you must agree here and now to honor what arises, even if it terrifies you. If you are ready, type in the comments. The gate has recognized me. The journey begins. This is your first act of resonance, a signal to the collective field. Now, breathe, close your eyes, listen for the pulse behind the silence. You didn't open the gate. The gate opened you. This is not an import, not a foreign object, not a gift from the gods. The Egyptian frequency, the pulse that stirs the gate, was woven into your being long before you spoke your first word. Somewhere between waking and sleeping, the world softens, and a subtle vibration flickers at the edge of consciousness. It's a sensation that's haunted artists, monks, and madmen. The feeling that reality is a veil stretched thin, and just beneath it, a hidden song. This is not imagination, it is memory. The Egyptians named this hidden current Sa-Ankh, the breath of life. Every statue, every glyph, every temple was constructed to echo this vibration, not to teach it, but to awaken it. Their secrets were never meant to be learned. They were meant to be remembered. Have you ever felt a shiver run up your spine when you hear a certain sound? Ever found yourself pausing, breath caught, as a memory bubbles up for no reason at all? That is the echo of your original frequency, the code written into your marrow, waiting for the right moment to awaken. Modern physics is just now brushing the edges. Everything is vibration, from the thrum of atoms to the pulse of solar winds, from the electromagnetic hum of the heart to the infrasound of ancient temples. Vibration is the grammar of the universe. Yet, as the ancient priests knew, it is also the lost dialect of the soul. What does this mean for you? It means that every technique, every mantra, every sound ritual is not about adding anything to you. It is about clearing away the noise so your frequency can resurface. You are not here to learn the Egyptian frequency. You are here to realize that it never left you. Do this now. Sit upright, close your eyes. Bring all your awareness to the very center of your chest where the Egyptians believed the Ka, the vital essence, dwelled. Inhale slowly, as if you are pulling breath up from the earth through your spine. Exhale with a whisper, letting the sound ah Escape not loud, but honest. Do this 7 times. On the 7th exhale, pause. Notice the space in the silence. You may feel a tingling, a heaviness, or perhaps nothing at all at first. But if you listen, there is a subtle shift, a loosening, a softening, a sense that something ancient is rustling awake. There are those who will doubt, who will scoff and demand proof. Let them. This is not for them. This is for the ones who feel the old song stirring, the ones who have always known they carried a forgotten code. But a warning, this frequency can unravel the false self. You may find old fears surfacing, dreams growing more vivid, your sense of who you are becoming less rigid. This is the price and the gift of remembering. If you have felt even the faintest shimmer, write in the comments, "I have remembered the frequency. I am awake." Let your voice become part of the resonance. The gate was never locked. The gate was only waiting for you to hum the note of return. The silence of the temple is not emptiness. It is a vessel, a living thing, aching to be awakened by a single, precise sound. It's hard to believe, but a sound lasting just 33 seconds can dissolve the boundaries you've spent a lifetime building. That's not poetic exaggeration, that's an ancient truth encoded in the very stones of Egypt's sacred halls. For centuries, initiates stepped into shadowy chambers, not to escape the world, but to meet the world in its purest, undistorted form, silence. But not the silence of absence, the silence that listens, that waits, that vibrates with hidden potential. Legend holds that the first magicians of Egypt, the ones who drew stars upon stone and named the winds, spoke not in words but in harmonics. Their voices didn't shatter glass, but called forth visions, trembling on the threshold of sound and no sound. Even now, if you listen closely to the ancient temples, Karnak, Luxor, Edfu, you may hear it, a resonance that is not quite a note, not quite a hum, something halfway between memory and prophecy. Scientists have tried to explain it away. Acoustic resonance, standing waves, psychoacoustic phenomena. But there is a gap, a mystery science circles but cannot enter. It's the same paradox mystics have whispered about for centuries. The right sound, at the right moment, can open the silence, and when that silence opens, reality itself is rewoven. You may doubt this. You may think, a sound is just a sound. But the first time you experience it, you'll know. It's as if your cells are singing, as if your body is an instrument finally tuned to the music of creation. I still remember the first time I tried it, how the air seemed to thicken, how the world itself leaned in, listening. There was a moment timeless, wordless, when I realized the silence was singing back. Do this now. Find a space where you will not be disturbed. Sit comfortably, spine aligned. On your next inhale, imagine you are drawing in light from the space around you. On your exhale, let out the sound "hoo," drawn out for as long as your breath will last, no forcing, just letting it flow. Repeat this for 33 seconds. Set a timer if you must, but trust your intuition. In the stillness that follows, do not rush. Let the silence stretch. If you are attentive, you may feel a subtle vibration, a tingling at the crown or the base of your spine, a sudden rush of emotion or memory. This is the sound opening the silence, the gate answering your call. But beware, if you force it, if you perform the ritual with ego or arrogance, the silence will remain mute. The ancient magicians knew, humility is the tuning fork. If you come to this practice with a "prove it to me" attitude, you will find only more questions. If you felt a shift, even the faintest, comment below. The silence has sung, "I am open." Let the resonance ripple outward. The ancient texts on the emerald tablet say that only those who are willing to let go of fear are moved enough to touch the third dimension. Yet the gate answers not to bloodlines, nor to boasts, but to surrender. Anyone who has ever stood in the cold stone chamber of an Egyptian temple knows it is not a place for those who tremble at the silence. The myth of the chosen, those marked by destiny, selected by gods or fate to wield ancient power, is nothing more than a beautiful lie, designed to comfort the timid and stroke the egos of the ambitious. The gate opens only for those who dare to surrender everything they believe themselves to be. Consider the tale of the initiate, a young priestess, desperate to taste the divine, fasts for 40 days in the inner sanctum. She chants the sacred names, bathes in light and darkness, her voice cracking with longing. On the final night, as her spirit is frayed and her hope near broken, she collapses to the cool stone floor, no vision, no miracle, only emptiness. And in that perfect defeat, when her need to control dissolves, the gate opens of its own accord. Light floods in not as a reward, but as a natural consequence of her surrender. So many seek to activate the hidden power by force, memorizing rituals, hoarding crystals, repeating mantras until their voices go hoarse. Tell you to repeat RA 1,000 times. Sorry, the ancient magicians will laugh in your face. The gate is not impressed by repetition, it is moved by resonance. Here's the warning etched not in papyrus, but in the hard lessons of those who tried to force their way. The greater your need to control, the tighter the gate closes. Ego is the lock. Humility is the key. You may think, but I am not worthy, not pure, not prepared. That thought itself is the trap. The gate does not care for perfection. It only seeks authenticity, the trembling, raw admission. I am afraid, but I am willing, is more sacred than any flawless incantation. Try this now. Sit quietly, hands open on your knees, palms facing up. With each inhale, say quietly to yourself, I surrender. With each exhale, let go of one belief about yourself. I am not ready. I am too broken. I must do more. Repeat until your breath softens and the inner noise fades. Notice what arises: a flicker of peace, perhaps, or the sudden surfacing of an old pain. That is the real test. The gate opens when you are brave enough to sit in the fire of your own vulnerability. You may feel resistance. You may feel fear. Do not run. To meet the gate is to meet yourself, stripped of story and striving. If you find even a moment of openness, one heartbeat of true surrender, declare it. I have surrendered. The gate is listening. Your honesty resonates with others, forming a chorus in the field. There is a moment when a scientific mind will admit, through gritted teeth or a wry smile, that not all can be measured. In that crack, the hidden energies whisper. It's a delicious irony so many today scoff at the ancients, dismissing their tales as fantasy, while science itself is quietly discovering the truth of what Egypt knew all along, that energy is not just electricity, but vibration, frequency, and field. Even Einstein, wrestling with equations in the dead of night, confessed, the field is the only reality. And walk into a modern laboratory, and you'll see machines measuring brainwaves, mapping the heart's electromagnetic aura, watching the body's subtle fields shift as a single note is sung or a deep emotion surfaces. They call it biofield science, heart coherence, entrainment. But what they can't explain is the subjective miracle, the way a sound, a breath, a moment of surrender can ripple out and rearrange your entire perception of reality. What the Egyptian priests called Sekhem, the life force behind the gate, flows not through wires or veins, but through the spaces between, the charged silence inside every atom. It's the same prana of India, the chi of China, the lung of Tibet. All ancient civilizations, in their own dialects, spoke of this energy not as theory, but as lived experience. Their temples were not museums, but amplifiers designed to resonate the body's hidden field into harmony with the cosmos. But here is the warning. You can measure the heartbeat, but not the love that makes it race. You can track brainwaves, but not the vision that descends when the gate opens. Those who cling too tightly to proof will find themselves locked out of the mystery, forever searching for a map when only the journey itself reveals the terrain. What does this mean for you, seeker? It means that every moment you spend doubting your own felt sense, every time you dismiss that shiver, that synchronicity, that wild spark of insight, you are training yourself to ignore the gate's invitation. It means the science of subtle energy is not in the textbooks. It's in your marrow, your dreams, your breath. Do this now. Place one hand lightly over your heart, one on your belly. Inhale and imagine golden light filling your body, tracing the outline of every cell. Exhale slowly, feeling that light settle, like dust in sunlight, into every hidden place within you. As you breathe, repeat quietly, I am the field is me. Notice, does your body tingle? Does emotion arise? That is the living science. Resonance, not data, but a warning. Again, if you obsess over doing it right, if you turn this practice into another ritual to be conquered, you will only strengthen the walls of the gate. Let it be an experiment, not a test. Let it be an adventure, not a checklist. If you have felt the current, even a flicker, confirm it. I am in the field. The mystery is alive. Your comment is not just words. It is a spark in the dark, felt by others on the same journey. Most people live and die in the daylight of certainty, but those who awaken learn to linger in the dusk, where timelines twist, futures bleed into the present, and the gate becomes visible only to the open-hearted. You may think that time moves in a straight line, that every moment is just another link in a cold mechanical chain. But step inside the shadow of the gate, and you discover something unnerving, exhilarating. The present is not a cage, but a crossroads. Every sacred ritual, every true awakening, happens in the liminal zone, the borderland between what was and what could be, between sleep and waking, between self and something vaster. It is no accident that initiates across Egypt, India, and Tibet trained themselves to slip into this in-between state. The yogi in his Himalayan cave, the monk ringing his bell at dawn, the Egyptian priest meditating at the threshold of the burial chamber, all understood. The gate opens where the fabric of reality grows thin. There, the past is not a memory, but a living presence. The future is not a fantasy, but a field you can touch. This is not theory. I've lived it. There were nights, suspended between dreaming and waking, when visions would crowd the room, faces, voices, fragments of old lives. Sometimes, in the heart of meditation, I would feel myself dissolving, as if I were being pulled apart and remade from the inside out. Terror and wonder, side by side. The gate is never gentle, but it is always honest. Here is the paradox. To enter the liminal, you must risk losing your grip on who you think you are. Your name, your story, your plans, they all fade in the half-light. What emerges instead is a deeper knowing, a sense of connection that is both humbling and electric. Try this practice now. Find a moment just before sleep, or as you first awaken. Lie still. With your eyes closed, focus on the sensation at the center of your forehead, the point the Egyptians called the Eye of Horus. Breathe slowly, counting backward from 7 to 1, letting each number dissolve into the next. When you reach 1, allow your awareness to hover. Don't grasp, don't force. Just be in the space between thoughts, the moment before identity rushes back in. You may glimpse images, hear voices, or feel currents of energy, or you may feel only emptiness, an unsettling, expansive stillness. This is the liminal zone, the meeting place of all timelines. This is where the gate is most likely to open. A warning: lingering here too long can make the waking world seem thin, even unreal. Honor the need to return. But remember, once you've glimpsed the truth behind the veil, you can never unsee it. If you've touched this zone, even for an instant, right. I have seen between worlds. The gate is near. You strengthen the bridge for others with your voice. For every gate, there is a guardian, not a monster with claws, but the silent shadow of your own unexamined fears. Cross without seeing, and you risk becoming lost in the labyrinth of your own mind. There is a reason the ancients carved jackals and serpents at the temple gates, painted eyes above every doorway, warned their disciples in riddles and dreams. The greatest danger is not in failing to open the gate, but in crossing too soon, too recklessly. For every seeker who passes through with humility, 100 are tangled in the web of their own shadows. Let me be clear, the gate does not protect secrets. The gate protects you from yourself until you are ready. I have seen it happen. A friend who dove too deeply into altered states, seeking wisdom, found only confusion and terror. Another, obsessed with awakening, spent years chasing mirages, missing the gentle guidance that arrives when you stop trying so hard. The guardians of the threshold are not enemies. They are the old wounds, the forgotten grief, the denied rage that rise up as the gate creaks open. You may not see a literal being barring your way, but you will feel resistance, sudden anxiety, irrational anger, the return of childhood nightmares, a voice whispering, "You're not worthy. Turn back." These are the guardians, asking you to turn and face what you've hidden, to reclaim the lost fragments of yourself. The mistake, believing you must defeat the shadow. The real work, to witness it honestly, without judgment. The alchemists called this the nigredo, the blackening, the willingness to sit in the darkness until you see by another kind of light. Do this now. As you meditate or practice, if fear or resistance arises, do not run. Pause. Bring awareness to the exact place in your body where you feel discomfort, a tightness in the chest, a pit in the stomach, a lump in the throat. Breathe into that place. Whisper to yourself, I see you, I accept you, you are welcome here. Stay until the sensation softens, even a little. You may cry, tremble, or feel exhausted. This is the gate's blessing in disguise. Each shadow integrated is another key, another resonance, another note in the ancient song. But a warning, as always, if you try to bypass this stage, you may become haunted by what you refuse to see. The gate is merciful, but it is relentless. If you have faced even one shadow, even for a moment, comment, I have seen the guardian. The gate is clearer. Your courage becomes a torch for others crossing behind you. Memory is not just a storehouse of the past. It is a living code, encrypted in bone and breath, waiting to be awakened by those who dare to remember what they never learned. There is a myth among the old keepers of the mystery schools that every true awakening is not a discovery, but a return. The gate is not a door you stumble upon in the desert, but a seed planted within you at the dawn of your being, one you've watered in dreams and neglected in the noise of daily life. The code to unlock it? Remembrance. It is strange, isn't it? Sometimes you'll find yourself haunted by a place you've never visited, a language you don't speak, an image that makes your heart ache for no reason. You might chalk it up to déjà vu or fantasy, but the mystics knew better. These are the breadcrumbs of the soul, the echoes of the gate reminding you, you were always meant to awaken. In Egypt, initiates would spend years remembering through ritual, not learning new skills, but purifying themselves, peeling away layer after layer of conditioning, until, at last, a single tone, a shaft of light, a whiff of incense would unlock the floodgates. Tibetans call it Rigpa, recognizing your true face. In India, it is Smriti, the act of remembering your eternal self. In the West, it's the forgotten art of anamnesis, remembrance as resurrection. But beware the modern trap. To seek remembrance as another trophy, to demand that the gate open on your timetable, is to remain in exile. The code cannot be forced, only courted. The gate opens only for those willing to sit in the quiet, undistracted, honoring the ordinary as sacred. Try this practice now. Sit quietly, eyes closed. Bring to mind the earliest memory you can recall, not just an image, but a sensation, a smell, a feeling. Let it arise without judgment or analysis. Now, ask silently, what do I need to remember that I have forgotten? Sit with the question, letting thoughts, images, and feelings drift past like clouds. If nothing comes, do not force. Remembrance arrives when you are ready. You may be surprised, a forgotten dream, a childhood vision, a sudden knowing that cannot be explained. This is the gate's way of telling you. The journey is not outward, but inward. The gate does not open to the new, but to the ancient within you. But let this be your warning. If you cling to old wounds, refusing to forgive, or if you chase only new techniques while neglecting the quiet wisdom within, the gate will remain a rumor. If even a single memory, sensation, or insight has stirred, write, I have remembered. The gate is within. Your words will be a signal fire to others, searching for their own code. One voice is a ripple, but 100 voices singing together become a current strong enough to shift the world. The gate does not belong to the solitary. Its power multiplies with every soul who remembers. It is tempting, in a world obsessed with individual enlightenment, to believe that the gate is a solitary achievement, a private vision, a hidden triumph. But this, too, is a remnant of the old illusion. The ancients understood what modern mystics are only beginning to rediscover. The gate responds not to isolation, but to resonance. Step into an Egyptian temple, and you'll notice something curious. Every chamber, every column, Every carved image is designed for amplification, not of sound, but of frequency. The singing priest, the chanting initiate, the humming of the gathered, all these combine to create a field far stronger than the sum of its parts. In that field, the gate opens not just for one, but for all. Science, too, offers a glimpse of this truth. Research into collective coherence shows that when groups meditate, chant, or focus together, measurable changes ripple through the magnetic field of the Earth itself. Crime rates drop, moods lift, synchronicities increase. This is not fantasy, it's physics. But here is the secret. The ancient magicians whispered behind closed doors. Your declaration is a tuning fork. When you comment, when you speak aloud your awakening, you reinforce not only your own transformation, but you strengthen the field for every other seeker tuning in. The gate becomes more accessible, the path more clear, the song more powerful. This is why I ask at every stage that you affirm your experience, not as empty ritual, but as a living link in the chain. Your voice matters. Your courage to say, "I have felt the gate," matters. It matters for the next soul, trembling at the threshold, wondering if they are alone. Try this experiment. As you watch, take a moment to read the comments left by others. Feel the collective resonance. Notice how your energy shifts, how the doubt softens, how a quiet strength arises from the knowledge that you are not alone. Now, add your voice. Write, "I am part of the resonance. The gate is open." This is more than participation. It is invocation, a ritual woven in the digital age, echoing the ancient halls. But let this be your warning. If you remain silent, if you withhold your song out of fear or cynicism, the field weakens. The gate becomes dimmer, harder to find. Silence, when born of fear, is the true exile. If you have declared your presence, if you have felt the uplift, affirm it. We have awakened together. You have become the current. The gate is no longer a secret. The gate is not a destination, but a beginning. Once opened, it breathes through you. You become the living threshold, the song between worlds, the silent invitation for others to awaken. You may have thought this journey would end in a revelation, a blinding light, a single answer, an arrival. Instead, what you find is a return to your body, your breath, your ordinary life. But nothing is ordinary now. The Egyptian frequency that stirred in you, the gate that opened you, is a pulse that can never be silenced. The world you re-enter is not the same world you left. There is a kind of mourning that comes with awakening, a bittersweet ache as the old stories dissolve, and you realize you are not who you believed yourself to be. But there is also a joy, fierce and bright, the joy of knowing you are, and always have been, the keeper of your own mystery. Every encounter, every challenge, every mundane moment is now a potential ritual. You carry the vibration into the marketplace, into your home, into your dreams. You are no longer searching for the gate. You are the gate. Others will sense it in your presence, a calm in your eyes, a weight in your words, a resonance that subtly shifts the field around you. Some will be drawn to you without knowing why. Some will challenge or reject you, but you do not need to convince, convert, or prove. You need only to live fully awake, fully anchored, fully present. The gatekeeper is not an authority, but a witness. You honor every awakening, every doubt, every song in the collective resonance. Do this now, for yourself and for the world. Sit quietly. Place one hand on your heart, the other on the earth or your knee. Whisper aloud, "I am the threshold. I am the keeper. The gate is open through me." Let this be your vow, your grounding, your final affirmation. And remember, the journey is never truly finished. Each time you share this resonance, each time you invite another to remember, to declare, to step through, you amplify the field. The gate is kept alive not in secrecy, but in community. So, if this journey has moved you, if you have felt even a glimmer of the ancient pulse, join our community of awakened seekers. Subscribe, share this video, and comment to confirm your journey. Know that each act is not just digital, but mystical, a vibration sent out across the field, calling others home. Your presence is a blessing. Your voice is an invocation. Your remembrance is the thread that ties the ancient to the future. Together, we keep the gate open for all generations.